Thanks.
Well, critical minerals are essential components of national security because they go into manned and unmanned military aircraft. Robotics company Ondas provides autonomous ground and aerial robotic intelligence systems, including drones, to defense agencies worldwide. Now, Ondas just landed a new contract with a government defense client in the Asia-Pacific region, as President Trump did hold a call with China's President Xi Jinping today, where the Chinese leader warned Trump about arms sales to Taiwan. I want to bring in Ondas founder and CEO Eric Brock. Eric, thank you so much for being here. What can you tell us about this deal in the Asia Pacific?
Yeah, sure. And firstly, thank you for having me, Cheryl. So this deal in the Asia Pacific is in and around our autonomous systems. I can't speak specifically to the customer and where we're deploying this, but we're bringing our capabilities. This one happens to be in and around counter-drone technologies and some of our aerial platforms around ISR.
Are you more focused on, I know that you have a new contract with the Department of War, I'm going to get to that, but are you more focused on working with governments, or are you more focused on working with corporations?
So we're both. The short answer is we're a dual-use company, so we're protecting and securing critical infrastructure, critical population centers, as well as providing homeland security and even tools for the battlefield. And we're doing this, again, with a portfolio of unmanned systems that range from aerial systems, counter-drone capabilities, as well as now ground vehicles.
I want to talk to you about this new deal, and your stock actually jumped on this, jumped about nearly 7% yesterday on news that you got.
Sure.
One of your subsidiaries, by the way, it's American Robotics, but you were selected, you were put on the blue list. And basically, this is the Department of War. They say that these are the companies, these are the technologies that meet their rigorous standards, whether it's cybersecurity or supply chain integrity, operational reliability. So you did get that. So what does that mean for you and for the company?
Well, that's really table stakes. When we're providing these critical technologies to customers like the Department of War, Department of Homeland Security, and increasingly even state and local governments in the United States, we need to make sure that the systems themselves are reliable and resilient in and of themselves, so we can have the supply chain that's under our control. So essentially what we're saying is our systems cannot have Chinese components or other components sourced from other areas of the world where we have adversaries. And that's, obviously a sensible policy that is driving a lot of change in and around our business and our sector. And we're part of this whole reindustrialization effort that the Trump administration is trying to lead. And of course, the Pentagon is pushing forward as well. Pushing our industry to move from a venture-backed technology development environment where we're now maturing systems and we have to deliver them and operationalize the companies. And of course, this policy in and around localization, right, and NDA compliance, which means again you have to be using local supply chains and production.
Right.
Is something that we're really well positioned for. But is getting on the blue list is the next step a government contract then, or is it one and the same? Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to be on the blue list if you want to sell to the Department of War. Okay. So that's sort of what I would call minimum table stakes. The much more complex things for us to do is make our systems operational and valuable, right? So it's getting out into the field with the customer, demonstrating what we can do for them, but also tailoring the use cases that are valuable. We provide drones and ground robots in a portfolio that we're integrating, and the customer, and if you see our systems, they're very impressive, right? And you're showing some of them here, but you have to make them useful to the customers. I think that's much bigger challenge for not just Ondas in our sector, but we're at this point where after 10 plus years across the sector, and certainly we've been participating, where we're meeting those standards, right? Reliable, safe technologies that now are hitting use cases and user requirements, and that's why we're seeing significant growth.
Okay, so help me with this, though. Talk about, I feel like I'm focusing a lot, and I am, on kind of the military side of this and the defense side of this, but as far as like the non-military options, the non-military services that you provide. So what does that look like exactly?
Yeah, so it's interesting when as technologies change, we're starting to see a blurring of what's homeland security, military, as well as public safety and the protection of critical infrastructure. And one place I will point to you there is the growth in the sector for counter drone technologies, and that's where we're particularly well positioned. We've been investing in a portfolio of capabilities. Now we're integrating them around what we call the soft kill and the hard kill, and specifically what that means is airports, the airspace around airports have to be protected from what we call hostile or rogue drones. And by the way, those are drones that are operated potentially by bad guys, but also the clueless and careless. And as you're seeing more drones proliferate, these risks are as well. So we're deploying counter drone technologies, and again, that's dual use, right? When we're going to an airport, this is supporting commercial activities and making sure commercial activities in our economy can be running properly.
The clueless and the careless. That's a good line.
That's
Eric
right.
Brock, thank you for joining us. Fascinating story.